It's the early morning of Sunday, September 3rd, 2023, at Chama, New Mexico. I arrived at the yard well ahead of the 10 a.m. departure of train 216 on the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad between Chama, New Mexico and Antonito, Colorado. I wanted to get some shots of the locomotive being prepared, in this case former Denver and Rio Grande Western K36 Mikado number 488, as well as the various structures in and around the yard. Ahead of backing onto its train, 488 heads onto the coaling spur to have its tender loaded for the run ahead. In one of the few departures from the many traditional aspects of the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad, a front-end loader loads coal into the tender as opposed to the classic coaling tower. With its tender loaded, 488 backs down onto its train at the depot. At exactly 10 o'clock in the morning, 488 and train depart Chama, New Mexico for Osier and Antonito. Just past yard limits, we cross the Rio Chama River. Next, 488 and train climb through the Narrows before reaching Lobato and crossing the Wolf Creek Trestle. 488 puts on a good show as we climb the grade towards Cumbres Pass and cross the highway at Dalton. We now arrive at Cumbres Pass, the highest open-air rail crossing in the entire continental United States, at just over 10,000 feet above sea level.
We'll cross the Colorado, New Mexico border about 11 times. Get toward the end, it's like a piece of ribbon candy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You want to open this up toward the very end. You can see how the railroad just makes one turn after another.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
We pass the Cumbres Pass Y and Snow Shed, restored by the Friends of the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad. Shortly after the pass, we round Tanglefoot Curve, with our Firewatch speeder trailing closely behind. then pass through the Los Pinos Valley, where we see many sheep and cattle grazing, along with their respective shepherd dogs resting in the grass. Next, we pass over Cascade Trestle before we arrive shortly thereafter into our lunch stop at Osier. We arrive into Osier, Colorado, where the train stops and lets the passengers off for a buffet lunch at the dining hall. At Osier, the locomotives are swapped and turned on the balloon track for the return runs to either Chama or Antonito. In our case, K27 number 463 will be leading us the rest of the way to Antonito. Having completed the engine swap, 488 and train arrived back into Osier to let off the passengers coming from Antonito. With full stomachs, we depart Osier for Antonito, Colorado. In the distance, we see 488 and train heading back down towards Chama. .463 makes its way through Toltec Gorge and Rock Tunnel. Next, we make our way around Phantom Curve and its iconic rock formation. Shortly before Toltec siding, the train makes its way through Mud Tunnel, the second of two tunnels on the Chama to Antonito route. We then arrive at the former section camp and water stop of Sublette. With the landscape being much more arid now, we make our way past Big Horn Y. .463 and train make their way around the Whiplash curves. We then pass the long out-of-service tank at Lava. With afternoon storm clouds looming, we make the final jaunt towards Antonito, Colorado. As we turn on the balloon loop, we see d&rg 168 and d&rgw 315 sitting in the engine house awaiting their next assignment. 463 and train make their way around the balloon loop before coming to a final stop at the Antonito depot. Upon our arrival in Antonito, we boarded a motor coach to head back to Chama. Once back in Chama, I proceeded to make the 17-hour drive back to the San Francisco Bay Area in almost one fell swoop. It is definitely not one of my wisest decisions, but nevertheless, I made it back in one piece, and as we arrive at the Antonito Depot, this brings my coverage of the 2023 National Narrow Gauge Convention in Denver, Colorado to a close. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. In the near future, I will be posting a video specifically on the San Juan Central version 2, the layout which I displayed at the convention. Again, thank you all so much for watching.